That's not what our base wanted. He also set out the vote for the January 6th committee. There's many more. Bob Good, $2 million from Kevin McCarthy to get elected. Lauren Boebert, under $2 million from Kevin McCarthy to get elected. Many more people have taken Kevin McCarthy's money to get elected, and then there's a few of them that don't want to support him as Speaker.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm the right-winged angel, Oliver Mack, and in this video, we got to talk about Republicans still failing to elect a Speaker of the House. That's right. We are on day 3 of voting, and not much progress has been made. Now, Kevin McCarthy is the front runner, but there are a lot of Republicans who don't want to see Kevin McCarthy as Speaker, but there are a lot of Republicans who do want to see Kevin McCarthy as Speaker. Matter of fact, a huge big-name Republican has come out and endorsed Kevin McCarthy again, and that is Donald Trump. Let's check this out. So Donald Trump doubled down on endorsement for Kevin McCarthy. Now, there are a lot of people on the MAGA side, I would say, the MAGA side of the conservative movement that love Donald Trump but don't like Kevin McCarthy. So it's kind of I don't know. What do you do in this situation where you have somebody who you love and you want to see as president, but they're endorsing someone who you think is part of the swamp, right? That Donald Trump is supposed to drain the swamp, but Kevin McCarthy is a swamp creature or what Matt Gaetz called an alligator. So how do you justify the two? This is what Donald Trump said on his Truth Social account. Let's check it out. Oh, sorry. How do we get to the next one? Oh, there it is. Okay. He said, some really good conversations took place last night, and this will be the night before last because today is Thursday. Some really good conversations took place last night, and it's now time for all of our great Republican House members to vote for Kevin, close the deal, take the victory, and watch crazy Nancy Pelosi fly back home to a broken California, the only speaker in U.S. history to have lost the House twice. Republicans, do not turn a great triumph into a giant and embarrassing defeat. It's time to celebrate. You deserve it. Kevin McCarthy will do a good job and maybe even a great job. Just watch. And he said this, if Republicans are going to fight, we ought to be fighting Mitch McConnell and his domineering, China-loving wife, Coco Chow. The harm they have done to the Republican Party is incalculable. Today, he shouldn't be elected dog catcher in Kentucky. Sadly, he only won because of my endorsement. Went up 21 points. Sorry. Okay, so that we have that from Donald Trump. Now, we have some other Republicans, which we would call MAGA Republicans, who are speaking a very, very different tune about this situation. But that's going to be Matt Gaetz. So Matt Gaetz, who looks just like Butthead from Beavis and Butthead. Oh, my God. Every time I see this man, all I think about is Butthead. But anyway, so this is what happened. So we had a vote on Tuesday. Actually, how many votes did we have on Tuesday? We had 2 votes on Tuesday. Or 3 votes on Tuesday and no election. No one was elected. And then we had 6 votes on, not 6 votes, but a 6th vote on Wednesday. And no one was elected. We had Jeffers and Donalds that were thrown in there. Their names were thrown in the hat. But Kevin McCarthy got the most votes. I mean, I'm torn about this situation. Initially, I said, you know what? Let's just get this over with. If Kevin McCarthy has the most votes, then just let him have it and just hold him accountable when he takes office. But the more I started looking into Kevin McCarthy and how he supports Ukraine and all these things, how he used to be a never-Trumper who voted for the January 6th committee, I believe. He condemned Donald Trump for January 6th, all these things, you know, all that stuff. But the more I started looking into it, the more I started thinking, well, maybe Kevin McCarthy is not the person that should be in that position. But he has the most votes. So it's kind of like, what do you do? If he has the majority of the Republicans' votes, are you really going to throw somebody else in there and expect them to now get the votes? I don't think so. Kevin McCarthy would have to step down and take his name out of the hat altogether and then have somebody else come in there. But Kevin McCarthy is not going to do that. He's been fighting tooth and nail to get this position. I guess he has the leadership experience. So he was the minority leader. So usually that's how it happens. Whoever is the minority leader, once they get the majority, then they become the Speaker of the House. But that's not going to happen. He's not going to step down. So it's like, okay, are we going to hold this up? We got a lot of work to do to try to save this country. There's a lot of things that we can do. We can bring Joe Biden and Hunter Biden to speak at Congress and get to the bottom of what's been going on with all this corruption. But we can't do that if we don't elect the Speaker of the House. So it's kind of a lot of this stuff is holding things up. Now, once again, I said Matt Gaetz came out, and he's probably one of the biggest opponents of Kevin McCarthy. He called him an alligator in the swamp or something like that. And now we have someone who's considered one of the MAGA heroes, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think she does a good job now. She's kind of rubbed me the wrong way on some things, but I want you guys to listen to what she had to say about this situation. And she called out Matt Gaetz. She called out Lauren Boebert. She called out a lot of these people. So let's check this out.
We have been negotiating, talking, debating back and forth in our conference, trying to come to a really good rules package, and it's amazing. As a matter of fact, I'll quote Matt Gaetz. He said it's exquisite. That's what he said on our conference call on Sunday. But in that conference meeting there, we found out that there were several members, 3 in fact, that went in last night and were demanding positions for themselves, demanding gavel positions, demanding subcommittees, demanding for people to be taken off committees and people to be put on committees. Three Republicans out of our 222. I want you all to know I have not done that for myself. The only thing I have done is debate and request and argue amongst my peers for the right things, for the rules package, and for our agenda for the American people. And that's the only thing I've done. I haven't asked for one thing for myself, and I'm the only Republican that has 0 committees. So you would think
So she said this on Steve Bannon's show, so she's just reiterating what she said there. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you got only 3 people that are trying to, I guess, get themselves put on committees and negotiate for their vote. So, yeah, I don't think that's right, but let's listen to some more.
I would be the one in there asking for something, but I haven't done that. But I find out that it's my Freedom Caucus colleagues and my supposed friends that went and did that, and they asked nothing for me. Nothing. That's what I found out in there. I'm furious. So let me tell you something. While the conservatives that the base supports and believes in, let me remind everyone, they're not perfect either. Scott Perry, before his general election, refused to vote against the bill that was all about the gay marriage bill. He didn't, but he refused to vote against it. He voted for it. Then when it came back around after his election, he was able to vote against it. Conservatives would not like that.
Well, that's true. Wouldn't like that. Somebody who changes their tune after they get elected. Or maybe they just did it. I don't know why they do it. Look, let me be honest with you guys. I'm really getting tired of politics. Like, you would think that we have these Democrats and they're doing all these horrible things. And you have the Republicans. They're supposed to come in and save the day and save this country. But they're not. I don't think the majority of politicians out there really care about the American people. All they care about is trying to line their pockets, trying to get things for themselves, these concessions and different things like that. They don't really care if we have to deal with high gas prices or inflation or anything like that, because they don't really have to deal with it. They get rich off their positions. They may make $200,000, $100,000 a year, but I don't know. There's shady deals being done under the table that these politicians, they participate in, that we don't know about as the American people. So there are ways that they're enriching themselves so they don't have to worry about the things that we have to worry about as middle class people. So let's see the rest.
Remind everyone this. Matt Gaetz, who has compared Kevin McCarthy to Paul Ryan, my friend Matt Gaetz, he supported Paul Ryan almost more than anyone. It's still on his social media. As a matter of fact, his first vote in Congress was for Paul Ryan as Speaker. And then he cheered him on for nearly a year and a half or more when people like me were at home furious at Paul Ryan's speakership because it wasn't passing the MAGA agenda that we all supported. Chip Roy, he refused to object on January 6th. That's not what our base wanted. He also set out the vote for the January 6th committee. There's many more. Bob Good, $2 million from Kevin McCarthy to get elected. Lauren Boebert, under $2 million from Kevin McCarthy to get elected. Many more people have taken Kevin McCarthy's money to get elected, and then there's a few of them that don't want to support him as Speaker. So imagine that. This is not anything about the...
See, that's what I'm saying. There's just so much corruption going on both sides. So I'm just sick of it. I get sick of politics. I get sick of these people not caring about us, not caring about the things that we have to go through, the things that we have to fight for. Like, we're on the front lines fighting ourselves. The politicians are not fighting for us. So there's a lot of things that we have to do as America First, as MAGA individuals, that these politicians, the ones that we think are on our side, are probably not.
Country. This is all about never Kevin. They just don't like Kevin McCarthy. And you cannot be successful in anything if you aren't able to walk in a room, make what you want, and get a deal done, and then walk away with the W and get to work and not worry about who you like and who you don't like. This is not about prom kids.
Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of people that don't like Kevin McCarthy, and rightly so. Rightly so. So I would like Miss Marjorie Taylor Greene to come out and explain the reasons why she supports someone who supports Ukraine, who supports the January 6th committee, and supports the Kevin McCarthy, when Trump got elected, claimed that it was because of Russia. So there's a lot of things that Kevin McCarthy said and did that went against everything that people like us believe in, that people like her believe in. So why did she decide to back Kevin McCarthy so much? I would love to hear that.
This is not about a pastor. This is about electing a person to sit in the speaker chair so that we can all get to work. And out of 222 Republicans, let me remind everyone, there's 218 votes to get something passed. That means all of us are powerful, every single faction in the Republican Party. So there's not going to be a tiny little group that is going to demand their way because they want subcommittee chairs and they want certain power positions. That is not how this works. And that is the worst thing they can do for the country. And I'm furious over it, and I'm going to continue calling them out. We will be finding this out, and we'll see what happens.
All right. That's it. That is Marjorie Taylor Greene. She is someone who the MAGA conservatives actually loved and championed. She seems like a different person. I won't even lie to you guys. She seems like a totally different person. She seems more like, and maybe this happens to all politicians or all people who get into politics that weren't politicians before. She seems more like a politician now than she did before. It's just like Trump. Trump seems more like a politician than he did before. When he first got elected, he was somebody who was like us, that was going to get into the White House and then champion the things that we wanted as American people. And he did that. Now, after the election of 2020, he seemed like he changed a little bit. He seemed like he kind of started to conform to these establishment ideas, and it just didn't sit right with me. Like the vaccine and different things like that, it just didn't sit right with me. Like this was not the person that a lot of us elected in 2020. Definitely not the person that people elected in 2016. I didn't vote in 2016. I wasn't red pilled at that point, but I did vote for Trump in 2020, and I felt confident that he would just do so many amazing things for our country. But now it's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know how you contend with that. Kevin McCarthy, swamp monster, swamp creature. Donald Trump said he wants to drain the swamp, but he endorses Kevin McCarthy, the swamp creature. So Maybe you can tell me what you guys think about that. I don't know, because I'm confused. I'm confused about politics. I'm confused about what the right is doing. I know what the left is doing. We all know what the left is doing. There's no confusion there. But on the right, I don't know what these guys are doing. And I just can't understand why they can't get it together. I mean, they knew that the Republicans had won the majority in the House 2 months ago. Or maybe it was less than 2 months, but something like that. So they had time to get this together. Like, okay, what do you need from us so we can vote for you as speaker? And then put it all out on the table and then make it happen. Okay, we're unified in our vote. Now we're going to get up there when it's time to vote, and we're going to show the American people and show the Democrat Party that we're strong and we're a unified front as Republicans, just like them. Because all of them, there was no dissenting vote for who they wanted as their representative in the House. He got it. The black guy, I can't remember his name, but he got it. Everybody, unanimous vote. Everybody voted for him. Now, on the Republican side, we just can't seem to get together. But maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a bad thing. You let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.